And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket.
Hey, can you stop
in
right
Buffalo.
there? Can you stop right there? Everybody feels this way, left and the right. We both, feel this is a horrible. This shouldn't happen. We should be protecting our kids like we protect the president. But y'all didn't hear how he don't mention about the crime in the inner cities. Yeah. You don't care about that, do you, Steve? Yeah. That's just killing, right? Yeah. I mean, you being a nice guy, look like you would have brought that up. Steve Kerr, this dude is I heard he's a nice guy. Everybody keeps saying he's a nice guy. I mean, that's what Kenny Smith says. That's what Shaq says. That's what Charles Bud. He's such a nice guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Yeah, I'm sure he is a nice guy. But he is a jackass too. Yeah, just because you're a nice guy don't give you the right to be a moron. Doesn't give you the right to be an idiot. Yeah. Doesn't give you the right to trample on or attempt to trample on other people's rights. Yeah. But I get it. He's emotional. I'm gonna show you the video.
Since we left shoot around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here, and a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket.
Hey, can you stop right Buffalo. There? Can you stop right there? Everybody feels this way, left and the right. We both, feel this is a horrible. This shouldn't happen. We should be protecting our kids like we protect the president. But y'all didn't hear how he don't mention about the crime in the inner cities. Yeah. You don't care about that, do you, Steve? Yeah. That's just killing, right? Yeah. I mean, you being a nice guy, look like you would have brought that up.
What does one have to do with the other? What does an act of terrorism, a mass shooting, have to do with black on black crime, street violence? I would bet the majority of the guns used in black on black crime, street violence, gang related activity, criminal activity, I bet the majority of these weapons are received illegally. So that's not you can't even compare that to this, because the motherfucker that just shot up the elementary school, he went and purchased his weapons legally. Dylan Roof purchased his weapons legally. You know what I'm saying? And if the gun control policies were tightened up and make it more difficult for these fools to get these weapons. But my main issue is how can you compare the two? I mean, you can't. It's apples and oranges, bro. Like, that's a stupid ass analogy to me.
But you failed to mention you're politically motivated. That's why you're saying what you're saying. Yeah. All right, keep rolling. But we both feel this way, left and the right.
Politically motivated my ass, bro. Like, Steve Kerr lost his pops to gun violence. His damn pops got killed by an act of terrorism. This ain't politically motivated, bro. To call him pathetic, to say it's politically motivated, I wholeheartedly disagree, bro. He ain't have to do that. And everybody was out here giving their 2 cents about how they felt in regards to the situation. And Steve Kerr took it upon himself to pour his heart out, let people know how he felt. And usually, I'm surprised. Usually, I agree with these motherfuckers. Like, usually I do. Well, nah, I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. They funny as hell, and they're always able to turn a fucked up situation, at least comedic, make you laugh about it or whatever, man. But a lot of times I find myself watching them and I turn them off because I disagree with the message a lot of times, because they are so right leaning, I guess. I don't fall along the lines of any of that shit, man. But like, to me, what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And it's wrong to call this man's video pathetic and say it's politically motivated, bro. Like, but anyway, let's continue.
When are we gonna do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm sorry. I'm tired of the.
Like, how can you tear this down? How can you tear this down?
There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power.
Can you stop right there? Can you stop? That's a lie. Republicans are not trying to hold on to power. They're trying to hold on to power for the American citizen and their rights to bear arms.
Yeah, they don't want to infringe on other people's rights because of what some psychopath did.
Yeah, what you just said was misleading. It's misinformation. I would say it's disinformation because you're trying to accuse Republicans of trying to hold on to power. What power? They're trying to hold on to power for the American citizen, not for themselves. Yeah. The American citizen.
Yeah, but see, this is politically motivated, and everybody keeps saying this guy's a nice guy. I mean, I don't think it's you're a nice guy when you exploit the deaths of kids.
Yeah.
To prop up a political party and then to lie on the other party saying it's all their fault.
And they're just trying to maintain power. That's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, but
just a bold-faced lie.
Like that law he's talking about, it's universal background checks. Now, when you buy a gun, whenever you buy a gun, when you go to a gun dealer, they do a background check on you. We're already doing that. What he's talking about, this new law, is if you buy a gun and then you want to sell that gun or let somebody borrow the gun, you have to go to a gun dealer and have them do a universal background check before you let them use or borrow or sell them the gun.
Which is a government overreach. They're infringing on people's rights. Let's just say I'm a homosexual.
No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not. That is not a government overreach, bruh. Clearly, guns are an issue in society when shit like this can fucking happen. And you've had murderers take advantage of the fucking loopholes that HH8 is trying to close those. Like, why wouldn't you make it as difficult as possible? I ain't gonna say that. Why wouldn't you make it a thorough process and vet motherfuckers as much as you can before you give them weapons? Like, let's do some homework real quick. House passed it in 2021. Bipartisan Background Checks Acts of 2021. This bill establishes new background check requirements for firearm transfers between private parties, unlicensed individuals. Specifically, it prohibits a firearm transfer between parties unless a licensed gun dealer, manufacturer, or importer first takes possession of the firearm to conduct a background check. This prohibition does not apply to certain firearm transfers or exchanges, such as a gift between spouses in good faith. Doesn't even apply to that. So how is that a government overreach? Because you yourself already purchased the weapon. You went through the process to get the fucking weapon. It doesn't even make any sense for you to be able to give this weapon to whomever. That makes no sense. It's opening opportunities for more fucked up shit like this to happen. You're not violating anybody's rights. Guns are an issue here in America, and we need to hold motherfuckers accountable to make sure that these weapons are going to people that are responsible. And for you to create this blaring fucking loophole and receiving weapons is just stupid. It's idiotic. It doesn't make any fucking sense, and you're gonna have more issues like this happening. It's not a government overreach. It's a government trying to keep people safe. So, with what Steve Kerr said, I align with what he's saying. Like, why the fuck are they holding it up? It should not be an issue for anybody who has a gun who wants to sell it privately to somebody else to fucking take this gun to a licensed fucking dealer and have them do the background checks to make sure this person can receive that fucking gun. It's a fucking gun. And there's other ways to go about it too. Like right now, they're seeming like they want to make folks go to a licensed gun dealer to conduct a background check or whatever, man. But there can be other process put in place where it could just be like you submit an application online for yourself, right? And you have to go through a process individually to be able to receive this gun. It needs to be something. It can't just be up to you to determine who this gun can go to. You know what I mean? It can't be up to you. That's opening the Pandora's box to let all this shit in, man. There needs to be some type of obstacle, some type of checks and balances right there to make sure everybody that is getting guns and selling guns should be doing so, right? And that's what the government is trying to fix right now. So for you to push back on that, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
They're infringing on people's rights. Let's just say I'm a homosexual and I went and bought a gun. I went and bought the gun because, in my neighborhood, they're homophobic, and I've had a couple break-ins. People keep spraying crazy stuff about anti-inflammatory things about gays. So I want to protect myself. Me being a homosexual, I went and buy a gun, universal background check. Yeah. Now, my boyfriend, who's a bottom boy, he hates guns. He's a sissy. All right? So let's say I bought a gun, and then say I have to go to an anal sex convention. I came out my own lubricant, right? It's revolutionary. You can take a 50-inch penis and it'll go through anything, right? Right? Let's say I leave and I tell my bottom boyfriend, say, hey, and we'll be gone. You're gonna be on your own. Here's the gun. This is how to use it. Yeah. Now, if I do that, that makes me a felon, and it makes my bottom boyfriend a felon.
Yeah, it's government overreach.
That's
that's cap. That is cap. This is talking about transfer ownership of this weapon. The gun still belongs to the person that's going to the gay convention, bro. It's no difference than your fucking husband leaving his gun at home with his spouse or his woman. Every state's gun laws is different. But if you think somebody's really going to be out here prosecuting someone for defending themselves with a gun that belongs to their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their father or whatever, in the act of self-defense, that's cap. If this is their sole reason or their sole justification to push back against this policy, that's stupid. That's stupid. Ain't nobody gonna seek prosecution on somebody defending themselves with a legally purchased weapon from someone that they live with. The hypothetical does not align with what the damn bill is intended for. The bill establishes new background check requirements for firearm transfers between private parties. A transfer of ownership. You're transferring this gun from me to you. Now you are owner of this weapon. You're the owner of this weapon. And then talking about borrowing, what this bill is referring to is those that go to purchase weapons or receive weapons from unlicensed firearm dealers. So, gun conventions, a lot of times they don't require background checks. And if you get the gun from a private party, there's no background check. Why wouldn't there be a background check? And the says the prohibition does not apply to certain firearm transfers or exchanges, such as a gift between spouses in good faith. So this hypothetical that they just described, I'd imagine that fall along the lines of what this bill does not prohibit.
That's what that new law, if it would have passed. If I let somebody, my wife, I buy a gun and I leave, and I go through a universal background check when I buy the gun. I leave the gun at home, and my wife uses it to protect her and the kids. Yeah. she's a criminal now.
No, she's not,
because she didn't go through the background check to get that gun. That's why
that's cap. That's cap. That's cap, man. No one's infringing on anybody's rights. Like your rights are not being infringed on. We're trying to just make sure everybody is suited to have and own a weapon. We ain't talking about just borrowing or using while it's in the house. That's not what this bill is for. This bill is to fucking tighten the damn clamps on this bullshit going on with these gun laws, closing loopholes. If these loopholes had been enclosed, that murder, that massacre at the elementary school wouldn't have happened. Why wouldn't you be in favor for that? Ain't nobody taking no rights from you. We're just making sure that everybody is held accountable.
Republicans don't want to sign that bill because they want to have the power remain with the United States law-abiding citizens. Yeah. Not for themselves. It's for us citizens the right to bear arms.
So, you still have the right to bear arms, though. Nobody's taking that away from you. Just making sure everybody that is bearing arms is a responsible gun owner.
Steve Kerr, when he said that, he's lying. And that bill that he's talking about, H.R. 8, it would not have prevented this tragedy. It would not have prevented the tragedy in New York, Columbine. It would not prevent the tragedies that's happened every weekend between black people in inner cities.
That's fair, because some of those got their guns illegally. But why wouldn't we do our due diligence to make it as thorough of a process for those to receive guns, to try to mitigate this shit as best as possible? Ain't nobody rights getting infringed on. But hold on, it's cap, man. It's cap. Uvalde shooter purchased the guns and ammo the week before. But what I do not know is if they started the background check. Yeah, nah, he didn't. No, because when you purchase a gun, you pay for the fucking weapons. They start the background check, and after you pass all this shit, you come back and receive your weapon. Purchased the guns a week before. There was no background check unless it was expedited, which is a fucking issue, and that's what they're trying to fix with these damn bills that they passing. So that's cap. It definitely would have prevented this from happening. You got a motherfucker that just turned 18 to buy. He bought 2 assault rifles and purchased 375 rounds of ammunition on May 18th. And went on the killing spree a few days later. And I guess I guess what they're saying is that even if he went through the background check, this shit would have happened. It may have been delayed because whatever background check took place would, extend it out a little further, man. But still, if you make it more difficult for the person to get a hold of the weapon, man, you don't know what's gonna happen between that time. What we do know is that he purchased this. He spent the money on the fucking gun. He got the gun, and the next few days he went crazy with it. You got to make these gun owners go through a more thorough process to retain these weapons, man. Make sure everybody is good, man. Do a little digging to make sure they could. They ain't do no digging at all. There was no background check. At the end of the day, man, a background check ain't gonna hurt nobody. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. It ain't no government overreach. None of that shit, man. Guns is dangerous, and it ain't guns that kill people. It's the people with the guns that kill people. So we got to make sure everybody that got the guns is good to have a fucking gun. So why wouldn't we be proactive to make sure shit like this? We're never gonna be able to stop it. We're never gonna be able to stop it. But why wouldn't we do our due diligence to make it better if we can? What's wrong with that? That's why I'm confused about their whole agenda, like they stands. Like I'm trying to understand their motive. I wish I could talk to them and figure out what the is really going on. Because this shit don't make no sense to me.
Because criminals don't abide by gun laws. Yeah, so gun laws, more often than not, is going to infringe on the rights of law-abiding citizens. Yeah, but he's not going to tell you that because he's politically motivated. Yeah, he's a jackass. Yeah, and he's not a nice guy.
I'm done. Okay, I'm good. Everybody just sitting here tearing him down. It's not infringing on nobody's nothing, bro. It's not infringing on nobody's nothing. You got the right to bear arms, but you still need to go through this process to fucking get the gun. You got all these rights. You still got to be held accountable in implementing these rights. You know what I'm saying? Using these rights. You can't just go out there and give a gun to anybody. That's what they make me seem like they won't. You just be able to just give your gun to anybody. Anyway, yeah, that shit. I've been like off what they said before. Like I don't agree with them, but never felt like this, bro, because they attacking this man for just saying how he felt. It wasn't no agenda what the hell Steve Kerr was saying. Why is it that the Republicans are holding shit up? Why is it? Because of what the fuck he's saying? No, that's cap. That's cap.